1:15. This is the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. The news edited by Catherine Pereira and read by Geethanjali Ramanayaka. The headlines. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has agreed to recommence the second stage of the Northern Water Supply Project in Anuradhapura. It has been stated that it is not possible to resume the train service before Poson Full Moon Poya Day. The Excise Department to charge tax shortages from the alcohol producers before the 30th of June. Sri Lanka-Russia explore avenues for enhanced defence cooperation. And on foreign news, Russia vetoes UN vote on stopping arms race in outer space. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has agreed to recommence the second stage of the Northern Water Supply Project in Anuradhapura. The JICA Institute has taken this decision at a discussion held with the State Minister Shahan Semasinghe. Accordingly, the State Minister has given advice to the officials of the Water Supply and Drainage Board to obtain Cabinet approval in order to expedite the project. A special discussion was held at the Finance Ministry relevant to this matter. The Japanese government has granted 19,409 million yen for the implementation of the project. Drinking water facilities will be provided to 50,000 families in the 119 Gramanildari division in the area. Transport, Highways and Mass Media Minister Dr. Bandula Gunawardena officially informed the Anuradhapura Atamasthanathipati Venerable Pallegama Hemaratnanayaka Thero on Monday that it's not possible to start operating a train to Anuradhapura before the Poson Full Moon Poya Day, as the reconstruction work of the Northern Railway line has to be carried out further. On this occasion, the minister explained to Venerable Pallegama Hemaratna Thero that due to the construction of a new elephant crossing under the railway line in Galgamuwa, the Thalava, Galgamuwa and Thamuttegama railway stations are still undergoing renovations, and it's not possible to resume the train service before Poson Full Moon Poya Day. However, the minister stated that measures will be taken to deploy more SLTB buses in line with the Poson Poya. The Parliamentary Committee meeting on Planning and Systems has ordered the Excise Department to charge tax shortages from the alcohol producers before the 30th of June relevant to the previous year. The amount of tax to be paid by the liquor producers relevant to the year 2023 was at 1.1 billion rupees. It has been ordered to suspend the licenses of liquor manufacturers until they paid their taxes. The chairman of the committee meeting, Partly Champika Ranamaka, has questioned regarding the ignorance of this issue from the Excise Department. The officials of the department stated that a program has been prepared to charge these taxes on installment basis. This news broadcast comes to you from the Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation. Sri Lanka's Secretary Defence General Kamal Gunaratne has held bilateral talks with Russia's Security Council Secretary Nikolai Patrushev at St. Petersburg. The meeting underscored the importance of fostering international cooperation and collaboration in addressing security threats and promoting peace and stability in the region, a statement from the Defence Ministry read. The discussions covered a wide range of topics, including counter-terrorism efforts, cybersecurity and defence cooperation. Both parties expressed their commitment to strengthening bilateral ties and exploring avenues for enhanced cooperation in the security domain. The bilateral discussion took place on the sidelines of the 12th International Meeting of High-Ranking Officials responsible for security matters, convened in St. Petersburg, Russia, from the 22nd up to today. President Ranil Wickremesinghe declared open the super luxury hotel ITC Ratnadeepa Colombo, which boasts Sri Lanka's first ever sky bridge, Ahasa 1, connecting two towers at a height of 100 meters above the ground. ITC Hotel Group, one of India's leading luxury hotel chains, is reported to have invested close to $300 million in the luxury Sri Lankan property, which is being set up under a subsidiary, Welcome Hotels Lanka. The luxury hotel, ITC Ratnadeepa in Colombo, reportedly features about 352 rooms. And that ends local news for now.
The main news story is brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
The Sri Lanka electricity bill, which incorporates the proposed reforms for the electricity sector, was presented to the Parliament by Power and Energy Minister Kanchana Wijesekara today. It was published in the Government Gazette on 17th of April. The bill seeks to provide for the establishment of the National Electricity Advisory Council and make the Public Utilities Commission of Sri Lanka PUCSL the regulator for the electricity industry in terms of the proposed legislation. Further, it seeks to provide legislative measures applicable to the incorporation of corporate entities in which all activities connected to the generation, transmission, distribution, trade, supply and procurement of electricity are vested. And that was the main news story.
The main news story was brought to you by Sinhala Mahatmya.
And in Watchlight this afternoon, conducting and organizing tuition classes and seminars aimed at students scheduled to sit for the upcoming 2023 GCE ordinary level O-level examination will be prohibited from next week. Accordingly, all tuition and revision classes as well as seminars oriented towards the 2023 O-level exam will be banned from midnight on Tuesday, the Department of Examinations said. Strict action will be taken against those who violate the rules, the Commissioner General of Examinations noted. The 2023 ordinary level exam is scheduled to be held from the 6th of May to the 15th of May 2024, and that came to you in Watchlight.
Coming up, World News.
The headlines first. Russia vetoes UN vote on stopping arms race in outer space. Ukraine war. US secretly gives Kyiv long-range missiles. And Spain's PM Pedro Sanchez holds public duties as wife faces inquiry. Russia has vetoed a resolution at the UN Security Council calling on all countries to prevent an arms race in outer space. The draft resolution, put forward by the US and Japan, sought to reaffirm a principle already set out in the 1967 Outer Space Treaty. The US has warned that Russia is believed to be developing a space-based anti-satellite nuclear weapon. Russia said it was firmly committed to the existing treaty. The draft put forward yesterday called on all states, in particular those with major space capabilities, to contribute actively to the objective of the peaceful use of outer space and of the prevention of an arms race in outer space. Ukraine has begun using long-range ballistic missiles secretly provided by the US against invading Russian forces, American officials have confirmed. The weapons were part of a $300 million aid package approved by US President Joe Biden in March, and they arrived this month. They have already been used at least once to strike Russian targets in occupied Crimea, US media report. Mr. Biden has now signed a new $61 billion package of aid for Ukraine. The U.S. previously supplied Ukraine with a mid-range version of the Army tactical missile systems, but had been reluctant to send anything more powerful, partly over concerns about compromising U.S. military readiness. Spanish Prime Minister Pedro Sanchez has suspended public duties to stop and reflect on whether to remain in the job after a court opened a preliminary inquiry into his wife. In a statement, the Spanish leader said he urgently needed to decide whether he should continue to lead the government or renounce his honor. The court said it was responding to corruption claims against Begonia Gomez. Mr. Sanchez said his wife would defend her honor and work with the judiciary. The complaint against Begonia Gomez was raised by anti-corruption campaigners Manos Limpias, Clean Hands, who have taken part in a number of high-profile court cases in recent years and are led by a man linked to the far right. Back to the headlines of the world news. Russia vetoes UN vote on stopping arms race in outer space. Ukraine war. The US secretly gives Kyiv long-range missiles. And Spain's PM Pedro Sanchez halts public duties as wife faces inquiry. And that ends world news. On to development news. A group of Singapore expertise for the design of municipal planning has arrived in the island. This program will begin in the Hambantota area today. They have prepared such plans in Colombo and Trincomalee areas yesterday. The Director General of Urban Development Authority, Prasad Ranavira, said the report in this regard will be received within a 6-month period, and that was development news.
Moving on with sports news.
In sports news, Sahan Arachige is the captain of Sri Lanka's A team for the one-day cricket tournament to be played with the Afghanistan team in Hambantota. The tournament will begin from the 28th of this month. And that was sports news.
Go ekak tiyana youth eකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
In business news, Sri Lanka is set to host the 34th plenary meeting of the International Standards Organization Technical Committee for Tea on July 24th. The global review meeting will be hosted under the leadership of the Tea Research Institute of Sri Lanka and the Sri Lanka Standards Institution, said Sri Lanka Tea Board Chairman Niraj Dimel. Representatives of more than 45 member countries are to attend the international review. This will include reviews on biochemical, physical and biological standards expected to be followed by tea-producing countries, and that was business news.
Business news sponsored by National Savings Bank, the safest place for your money.
Go ekak tiyana youth එකට life එකේ change එකට නියමෙට set වෙන්න as වහගෙන දැකපු හින හැබැයි කරන්න youth එකට නියමෙට set වෙන friendship එක මෙන්න.
The all new NSB Ithru Mithru account, NSB IAM, a plan for your dream.
On to economic news. Brandix Apparel was recently recognized as the most outstanding exporter in the merchandise category by the Board of Investment of Sri Lanka, BOI, as the country's flagship investment promotion arm celebrated its 45th anniversary. Brandix Group Managing Director Hasita Premaratna received the award from President Ranil Wickremesinghe, whilst Brandix Group Chief Executive Ashraf Omar received an award for outstanding individual contribution towards growing Sri Lanka's export sector. And that was economic news.
Weather report.
Showers or thundershows can be expected in parts of the western, Sabaragamuwa, central, northwestern and southern provinces after 2 p.m. The Department of Meteorology says showers or thundershows may occur over coastal areas of Galle to Potuville via Matra and Hambantota during the morning. Misty conditions can be expected at some places in the Sabaragamuwa, central and Nuwa provinces in the morning. The general public is advised to take adequate precautions to minimize damage caused by temporary localized strong winds and lightning during thunder showers. Well, that was the weather report. And prior to concluding this news broadcast, the headlines once again. The Japan International Cooperation Agency has agreed to recommence the second stage of the Northern Water Supply Project in Anuradhapura. It has been stated that it's not possible to resume the train service before Poson Full Moon Poe Day. The Excise Department to charge tax shortages from the alcohol producers before the 30th of June. Sri Lanka, Russia explore avenues for enhanced defence cooperation. Foreign news, Russia vetoes UN vote on stopping arms race in outer space. Well, with that, we end this news broadcast from Sri Lanka Broadcasting Corporation, and it's over to Victor Raj on the other side to continue with the rest of the programs. Over to you, Victor.